Hey guys, this is my fish room. It consists of 8 tanks, and let's get into it. So this is the first tank in the room. It's right by the door, and this is a 6-gallon tub. And in here are a lot of my guppy calls when I want to selectively breed my guppies, which never worked out because I got into native fish keeping. As you can see, there are a lot of different types of males. They're cobras, they're snake skin. There's all my original males in the back with the big tail. I started off with a few of those, 2 of those males and in the back there, and 3 females, 2 of which turned out to be yellow guppy females. And in here I just have some Java Fern Windelov, some Amazon sword, which I just took out of one of my other tanks, which I'll be showing you later. I have a sponge filter. I run sponge filters on most of my tanks. And for the heater, it's just a small, like up to 10-gallon heater. And also in here, I don't think you can see that, just a little bit, there's a baby redbreast sunfish that had a parasite, which I'm treating it for right now. I didn't want to keep it in the native tank so it wouldn't get into any other fish. Substrate is just regular pool filter sand. There are a few fake decorations in there, like there and there. But yeah, that's the first tank. So this is the second tank in my room. This is my black-nosed dace breeding tank. I collected all of the black-nosed dace locally here in Virginia. And in here it's very easy setup, just some Java moss in the back. I like to incorporate plants, live plants, into almost all my tanks. The substrate is just some pool filter sand, not a whole lot. And in that container is just some rocks I also collected locally, cleaned, and got rid of any microorganisms that might harm the fish. And the reason is that is there is because dace like to spawn over rocks and chub nests or any larger like sucker type fish nests, so they're only ever going to spawn over those rocks. So if I ever want to separate the rocks from the tank so then they don't eat their babies or their eggs, I can just take that out and put it in another tank. The filter is just a regular sponge filter. The heater is set to around 74 degrees as it's beginning to be spring, and I would like to see their colors. The males will have orange fins. Their pectoral fins will be very orange, and the males also get a bright orange line instead of their black line when they're in breeding colors, and the females will have clear fins, usually a bigger rounder body, and a black stripe when breeding and almost all other times. That right there, that's one of the males. You can see the orange fins in the darker top half of the body. And yeah, I also have a LED light. So this is the third tank in my room. This is my fry tank. Right now it is my guppy fry tank. All of the small little fry in here are all just guppies. In here, it's very, very simple setup. It's a 10-gallon right next to the dace breeding tank. In here are just some random stones. That is another rock that I just picked up in my local fish store. Thought it looked cool, so I just got it. It was cheap. There's a marimo moss ball in the back. Plants is just hornwort, some fake plants, and a bunch of duckweed. I tried to give the babies as much cover just so then they feel safe. In here I just have a regular 10-gallon heater set to around 76 degrees. Sponge filter, same as my dace tank. And yeah, that's about it for this one. Oh, I also have 2 blue ram's horns in here, which I saw in one of my other tanks, and I want to breed them, so I just have blue ram's horns. There are a bunch of babies right now, and yeah, I can't wait to see them all grow up to be blue. This is the 4th tank in my room. This is my main guppy tank. It is a 25-gallon tub with 2 LED clip-on desk lights that I got at IKEA. And in here, there's just a good mix of male and female guppies. There's one of my favorite babies. I just love the pattern on it. There's that's my biggest female I have, along with my prettiest male. I love the solid color in its fins, especially its tail and its pectoral fins. That female is an exact pair with that same exact type of guppy. A lot of guppies in here are different types and different morphs and hybrids of two different types. Like there's a yellow and blue hybrid, as you can see. And in here, the plants, there's a lot of water sprite, a lot of duckweed, hornwort. I have marimo moss ball. I have some Rotala indica and some Java moss in the back. I have just an entire ram's horn snail infestation just everywhere. The bottom is covered with them. I also like to reuse the plant pots from the plants I get from my local fish store because they are very good for fry to hide in. And also shrimp. My shrimp like to hide in them. I have 2 shrimp in this tank, male and female snowball shrimp. I cannot seem to find them right now, but they are in here. They've never bred. I don't know why. My water parameters are fine with that. But all my other guppies are just thriving in here. It's just an incredible tank. I love how well it's doing and how overgrown it is. In here I have a big sponge filter. I have a regular 20-gallon heater. And other stuff I have a rock is some cholla wood. And that's about it for this tank. This is the 5th tank in my fish room. This is a 30-gallon tank, and in here is a little 2.5-inch golden peacock bass. His name is Xavier. And then in here is a very active hoplo catfish. The plants is just red tiger lotus. It's doing okay. It just started to sprout about a week ago, so I think it's growing fine. I have some Sirius stone in case any of them want to hide. Just a regular old heater set to around 78 degrees. I have a hang on the back filter. I have to get rid of all the algae in there. It doesn't look too good. I'm not going to get an algaeer for this tank. He would just absolutely destroy it and eat it. And this tank is one of my favorite tanks. For the only reason is this little guy. He is incredible. It's almost like he's a dog. Here, I'll show you. So here I have 3 objects. I have a little wall plug, I have a chopstick, and I have a little fishing weight attached to some line. If I throw these, he will actually just go crazy for them. Watch. I'm starting with the fishing weight. Next is the wall plug. And finally, the chopstick. He does follow it. It's incredible what this guy does. See if I just swing around. He just goes absolutely crazy for this stuff. And it's a weight. It's not even a real fish outside of the tank. It's incredible. It's one of the main reasons I love this tank. He will go crazy for just about anything. This is the final tank I'll be showing off in my fish room. This is my 6th one. This is my 30-gallon Virginia native display tank. And in here, I have a small bluegill. I have not named it. I have 2 creek chubs. There's the first, there's the second. And I have 2 rosy side dace. There's the first one. And there in the back is the second one. This one gets a lot more color than the other one. I'm guessing this is a male and that's a female. Just because it gets an incredible amount of color, especially in the morning and close to feeding time. Almost its entire belly turns red. It's incredible. I have 2 fantail darters. That is the first one on the sponge filter. The second one is right here, and this is a photo of this fantail darter when I just caught it. Yeah, but this guy is incredible. I love the orange on him. Doesn't even its mouth is a lot different from most darters. Its mouth isn't as small as most other ones. It's also just a big darter. They're really cool. Oh, there's my American eel. It's only around 6 inches. It's still very much a baby, but it's been doing very well in this tank. It always comes out when I'm feeding, or when it thinks I'm feeding, and it eats all the food I put in, tries to take it away from my bullhead, which is right here. Sorry for the glare. I don't think you guys can see it, but my bullhead lives in this cave. Luckily, this cave faces the front panel, so I'm always able to see it. It's a really cool fish. I also have 2 tessellated darters. There's one in the back there. I do have to clean this glass. There's one in the back there, and the second one is on the filter right here. My darters love to hide on the filter. The tank right now, because I am transitioning it to spring and a warmer period, so then it encourages their breeding colors and maybe even breeding inside of there. The tank is set to around 72 degrees. I have a power head, which is just nasty right now. I have to clean that. I run 2 sponge filters at the same time just to create a lot of flow on the surface. Because this is a stream tank, it's meant to imitate a stream. All these specimens were collected at a stream. I have some ram's horn snails, which doesn't really fit to the biotope, as we don't actually have ram's horns here in Virginia. At least not that I've collected. The plants is just a native moss species that I've collected. And in the back, I forgot what it's called, but it's not a native plant. As you can see, there's ram's horn snail eggs on it. They are in here, so then once they hatch, or if they even do hatch, my darters will be able to eat the babies, so I'll be able to reuse that plant somewhere else. There are almost no ram's horn snails. There's just a little tiny one because the darters always get to them. And also, I have a few microinvertebrae in here, including a few scuds. Not too many. I think they're all eaten by now, and some isopods that I collected at a local stream, and they have been reproducing just fine. I've seen my fish eat them, so I personally call this a self-sustaining ecosystem, because if I ever do leave, the fish do have a food source that is reproducing steadily in here. They usually hide in those rocks. And I also have a turtle, which I will get out for you guys. This is my baby northern river cooter. Her name is Matilda, and she is just an incredible turtle. I love the colors on her shell. Also on the bottom of her shell, very orange, very pretty. I let her free roam around my fish room for around 30 minutes every 3 days, just to allow her to get more comfortable with me handling her, and she'll be able to eventually, when she grows up, to be able to just come to my hand and know that I'm okay, I'm not dangerous in any way. This is not a fully aquatic turtle, so it does need a basking spot, which is right there next to some Anubias, which is all dead because of the light, but I still keep it in there because my turtle likes to hide under the roots of the Anubias. So the roots are still fine. You can see the stem. It's fine, it's just the leaves. Yeah, but anyways, that's my fish room. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.